Hi, everyone. I'm John Comas. I was born and raised in northern New Jersey, and well, I guess you can say I'm a Jersey boy. I've been working with DevOps principles and practices even before DevOps was an industry buzzword. I'm currently SVP of Platform DevOps Automation for Truist Financial. I was previously the DevOps leader for BarnesandNoble.com and NBC Universal. I received my PhD in Systems Engineering DevOps from Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. And in short, I've been a lifelong advocate of advancing technology through promulgating the principles of enterprise DevOps and the elegance of standardization and simplification.
Thank you, John, thank you, Gene, for having us again at the DevOps Enterprise Summit. Just like John, I've been in the DevOps industry since long before it was called DevOps, right? I actually met John at 2013. He was one of my clients. I was at IBM, and I was the first distinguished engineer at IBM who was helping clients adopt DevOps. And I got an opportunity around that time, as Gene mentioned, to work with dozens of clients around the world, helping them adopt DevOps at large scale. And today I'm at Truist, right? The 7th largest bank in the US and the 4th largest insurance holding company in the planet. And I'm taking what I learned working with several of those clients and implementing that, working with John, as he mentioned. Now, for those of you who do not know Truist, it was created back in 2019 by the merger of BB&T and SunTrust. And that made us a very large bank. Very rarely does a top 10 bank enter suddenly out of nowhere into the top 10 list. But here we are. The merger is ongoing. And while the merger is ongoing, we are taking this opportunity to improve our capabilities, improve our developer experience, our developer productivity. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How are we doing that? So to take a step back, let's talk about what is a platform. We call this session the art of platform engineering, right? And it sounds very philosophical, sounds very artistic, but at the end of the day, it is all about improving developer productivity and developer experience, as I mentioned. And there's not a better quote or description I could find on that than Matt Skelton's description or definition of what a platform is. And I'll read it verbatim for you because it is concise, and I love things which are simple and concise. He says, a platform is a curated experience for engineers to accelerate the delivery teams that use it. Let's dissect this a little bit, because this is the philosophy. This is what we are building at Truist, and this is what we're going to talk about. It's the keyword, the first keyword there is curated, as opposed to ad hoc, right? We don't want developers to have an ad hoc experience which varies based on how long they've been there, what technology they're using, what tool set they're using, who was on their team, what kind of product are they building. It should be a curated experience. Now, I agreed, on large enterprise, it cannot be the same experience. It might vary, but we want to reduce that variance and make it more a better experience, for lack of a better term. It's for engineers. Now, we're using the term engineer here generically, right? Anybody who's a stakeholder in getting requirements converted to code running in production, we're using the generic term engineer here, right? And running in production also. So it includes people in operations, it includes people at the help desk, incident management, everybody. And our goal is to accelerate their capability, to make them more productive, make their life easier, right? Reduce toil upon them. That, at the end of the day, is the definition of what we are calling a platform and what we are building here. So when I got started, I've been at Truist only around, less than a year and a half. And John joined a couple of months after me. And we looked at what was going on, and we decided, okay, we got to let's say if we had a blank slate. Now, trust me, we don't, right? Obviously, software is being developed here. But if we had a blank slate, how would we design a platform? What would we want it to look like? And we came up with a few tenets. Now, if you heard me speak before, I've been talking about these tenets long before I joined Truist, so this is not new. But these are what we are implementing right now. And I'll go into detail about how we are implementing it later in the presentation. First and foremost, the first tenet is everything should be self-service. So how can we take all the capabilities and the services which our shared services organization, which we are a part of, is delivering to the developers, to the engineers, so that they can do their jobs? We need to make sure it is self-service. It's not manual. It's not ticket-driven. Second thing, and this is very important when you're talking to a large enterprise, especially one in a regulated industry, it needs to come with permission to act. It's pointless having something which is self-service if you still need to get approvals from 5 people before you can self-serve yourself. In order to give permission to act, what we need to make sure, and that's our responsibility, and we'll talk about that, is that we build guardrails around every service we are delivering via self-service so that people don't break things and it doesn't create jeopardy for us and our company. All of this then will only result in if we have a culture and environment of trust. The engineers who are consuming our services trust us that the service will behave and perform and function as designed. We'll be able to deliver them the SLAs we are promising, or SLOs. And we can trust them that they are not trying to bypass all the guardrails and try to, game the system for us. There's a mutual understanding of trust. As we started building the platform and designing the platform, we looked at it as a layered cake approach, right? We need to have an ability to provision environments and configure environments and deprovision environments, an environment pipeline. Next, we need to have an application delivery pipeline, which is what John will talk about. He's responsible for that. And all of this needs to be secured and compliant. You're in even if you're not in a regulated industry, you need stuff to be secure and compliant. But when you work for a bank, when you're in a regulated market, everything needs to be secure and compliant. We started building this multi-layered cake, and we're in the middle of doing that. We're going to share how we got where we got and where we are headed. But here, very briefly, is the capability map of what each of those areas looks like, right? So we have environment engineering, which forms the basis. You can't do anything without an environment. Then you have the ability to capture your requirements, write code, test code, deliver code, the entire application delivery pipeline. And then on top of that, you have a data pipeline, right? How do I get data